Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to 1,000 Mile Coffee. I'm David.
I'm Jason.
I'm Mike.
Yeah, we have a special guest on today, a gentleman by the name of Mike Moon.
Yeah, he's a
an employee
co-worker of
here.
ours. He is a co-worker of ours. He's been driving for, how many years you drove for?
35 years.
35 years. You don't look that young.
That's what did it to me.
That's why you're that old.
Yes, sir.
See, I'm like this with everybody I meet, just in case y'all were wondering. Now, we brought you on here because you've been out there on the road. You've seen all the stuff that happens. And we kind of want to go back and talk about some of the older traditions and touch back up on common courtesy again. Because I just feel like there's not enough common courtesy out here on the road between drivers anymore, especially, at the fuel pumps. People pull away from the fuel pumps. If you're done getting fuel, pull forward. Anyway, okay.
And the fuel island is not a parking space.
Yeah, right. Don't stop and go get a shower in the fuel island. Go to a parking spot.
And they don't realize that.
Dude, I ran into a couple weeks ago. I was in Rafine, and you know how the Petro there in Rafine, it stays busy constantly. Somebody literally got fuel, got their bag, and went in to get a shower.
And left their truck there?
Left their truck sitting in the fuel island.
Well, the common courtesy I can say to that is they come out and wouldn't find their truck there anymore.
Right. Oh, I talked to the guy. They had already called the tow truck, but was waiting on the tow truck to get there. And while I was pumping fuel, he got in his truck and left. It's man. Anyway, what was it? I think you brought this up, David. Passing people on a hill, or passing people out in either the left, right lane, whatever lane you're in. If you're going to count the rivets going past them,
Don't.
stay behind them. Don't hold up traffic.
Because I had this happen. I was going 75 south into Atlanta, and there was a semi-truck trying to pass a superload. One of the massive trailers that takes up the white line to the dotted line. Huge trailer.
Yeah, it takes up 2 lanes of traffic.
Almost. It takes up a lane and a half at least. And the truck who was trying to pass him was passing him at about a half a mile an hour faster. The gentleman here, he's over 100 feet long. It is not safe to do that. This goes into common courtesy because he's an oversized load. He's always permitted, and dealing with the size of the truck, if he even just slightly shifts, he's going to come into the side of your truck.
Yeah. Well, this is just me. This is what I do, and I think everybody should. And I mean, if you got a CB in your truck and you're running with one, you go to pass an oversized load, holler at him, hey, man, I'm getting ready to pass you. Am I good to come over? Because there might be a car on the shoulder, and he needs that lane not to hit the car, and you're beside him. Let him answer you and say, yeah, come on. Now, if he doesn't answer you, just hit it again. Say, hey, I'm coming, and drop a gear and disappear. Get around him. Don't ride beside them. Same thing with we bitch about four-wheelers riding beside us. You can't do that with oversized loads.
Yeah, if you cannot pass the truck in a timely, orderly manner, don't. What's it going to hurt to ride behind the truck? Yes, you are half a mile an hour faster, and your forward radar might be going nuts. Back off, slow down. Again, why are you in such a hurry?
Well, I mean, not just that on flat ground, but even on hills. I remember a couple weeks ago I was going up Fancy, and I lost every bit of momentum I had because you had one company drag racing the other company. Neither one of them was gaining ground, and traffic building up behind them, and we're not allowed in that third lane. So I lost everything and had to ride like that for 4 miles because one wouldn't just back out of it and fall in the right-hand lane.
Well, that's what a lot of these trucks do. They try and pass when they're going uphill, and they lose the momentum, and then they end up behind them anyway. So why even bother?
Right. If you
Just
can't
ride
get
with
around them,
just
don't.
stay behind them.
Right. Why hold up traffic? Why piss everybody else off?
Even with the four-wheelers, too. I think they should do, honestly, my opinion, when people go for their road test, they should teach these people who drive cars to look out for trucks and show them, some rules and regulations, what trucks go through, because these people don't understand that.
No, they don't.
And then they blame it all on the truck driver. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. And meanwhile, I see people blowing by me texting, talking on the phones, putting on makeup, reading the newspaper in traffic. I mean, you see it all.
Reading the newspaper?
Oh, yeah, New York. They sit in traffic on that BQE. And they're reading the Cosmopolitan. They're reading, the New York Times. And you're like, come on. You know, they don't care.
If any of y'all
just
can't
don't
tell,
care.
he's from New York. You know, just throw that out there.
What gave it away?
You know, it's just think about other people out there on the road. Is my
Common
biggest thing.
courtesy, exactly.
Exactly. If you know that I'm gonna struggle with this, just ride. It's not gonna hurt you any to ride because it's not gonna save you any time. If you know you pass, and this is something I've done in the past, and I think a lot of people probably don't. Somebody you pass an accident, you know. If there's no first responders there, pull up and block the traffic for people so they don't get hurt any worse, and get out and check on them, make sure they're okay. And if first responders are there, don't look at what's going on. Watch and make sure you don't hit nobody and get on around and get going.
Yeah, these people just stop and they think they're going to help. If you're not going to help, keep going. But I agree with you on that. If there's no first responders there, at least use your truck to block the traffic from coming out.
Yeah, we had
and making it worse.
We had a buddy of ours. I don't remember exactly what had happened, but there was an accident. It happened right in front of him. And luckily, he was a first responder for several years before he started driving the truck. So instantly, he pulled his whole truck and trailer and blocked off 2 lanes to protect that accident. And because there was one person in the car that couldn't move, like they were hurt really bad.
That's a smart thing to do.
You know, and people don't do that. Of course, they don't teach you to do that either. That's just something.
You know what it is, Jason? I'll be honest with you. A lot of people don't have common sense anymore. It's just a common sense thing. Me personally, I would have done this. I would have stopped it right off the bat, did the same thing. It's just what you would expect to be done for you if you were in that situation.
Right. But see, I'm going to say this too. You got to, with common sense, you've got to really watch. 3 years ago now, I was going across 40 and Ford Explorer, the pickup style Explorer, the Sport Track, was in the left-hand lane. We was going over a bridge, and it had just started snowing. He lost control on the bridge, slick spot, went sideways down into the ditch. I saw what was going on, and I laid into the throttle to get on past him. He bounced off the steel cables and slingshot back across the road, and just barely missed my trailer. Almost got my trailer. I let out of it and started to get on the brake, and then I saw a bunch of cars stopping. Well, I didn't stop. I kept going because at that point, if I would have stopped, now I'm creating more of a traffic jam. Exactly. Because there are going to be rubberneckers that are going to look. Yep. What's going on? That's going to create more of a problem, me stopping. He already had 2 or 3 cars pulling over and stopping immediately to make sure he was okay, so I just kept getting.
Well, that was a judgment call on your part because of your experience.
Right.
You knew what was going to happen. You avoided a problem for yourself that you knew was going to happen anyway.
Right.
Exactly. That
So
goes
you weren't involved
back
in
into,
it.
you said stop for the accident. If you already see a bunch of people have already stopped, then there's no point. Keep
Right.
going.
You're just going to create
There's
problems.
enough people there to take care of it, so just continue doing what you're doing. There's no reason for it.
Right.
You know?
Now, I think I know I'm missing some stuff here on common courtesy, either one of y'all. I mean, I know I'm missing something.
Oh, let's sit here and think. Shall we go down the list here?
You have all day?
Okay. Hey, we got as much time as we need, bro. We got as much time as we need.
There's a lot of it.
Common courtesy, part 78.
I noticed a lot of states are more truck friendly than other states. Like up in New York, you know, I put my directional on and they speed up and they stay next to you or they try and pass you. The traffic light's up ahead and nine times out of 10, you see that same person sitting at the traffic light waiting. You know what I mean? And it's frustrating because you sit there and you're like, okay, where are you going so fast? And I guarantee they're going to a dentist appointment or a beauty salon or something. And they don't realize they can cause a problem like that because there's blind spots on the truck.
Yeah. Yeah.
And these people don't understand that. So when you get it, you might be, and that's why it has on the back of the trucks. If you don't see the driver in the mirror,
They can't see
they
you.
can't see you. You know what I mean? And a lot of these trucks now, I notice they're starting to put stuff all over the back of their trailers, but these people ignore it. And that's what causes problems too. And common courtesy is just be courteous. There's no reason to rush. You're just going to cause a problem.
Help people out.
Exactly.
You know, if you're in a truck stop and you see a driver struggling to back in, get out and go spot for them, help them, which I had to do just a couple of days ago. I picked up here in Roanoke. And I learned real quick. I'm watching the guy. I let him mess around for, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. Just trying,
especially at night.
and this is middle of the afternoon. But and you know, you've been to Roanoke. It's a tight spot at this place we pick up at. And I watched him for 15, 20 minutes try to get in there, and he just couldn't do it. He kept getting out, making sure he wasn't going to hit my trailer. Yeah. And I finally asked him, I said, man, you want me to spot for you? Because some drivers just don't like it. And he said, yeah, if you would. And I'm looking at it, and I know what he needs to do to fix the problem, but I didn't know how to tell him. Like, I couldn't explain it. And that's when I realized I cannot be a trainer, because I couldn't tell somebody how to back up. I can do it, but I couldn't tell you how to do it. But he finally got it in there with no issues. But, I mean, I made it a little easier because I jumped out and spotted on his blind side that he couldn't see.
Yeah, that's the hard part, is the blind side, especially when you're backing into these truck stops at night.
Yeah.
11 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night.
Oh, yeah.
And it's dark. And then some of them sleep with their lights on, you know, the marker lights and stuff, parking lights. So you really can't see. You get a glare. Sometimes the parking lights, you know, the lights are it's all messed up. I always had how can I say, not a hard time. I just got frustrated very easy because I knew nighttime I pull in, I try and find a spot that's open, and I'm away from everybody.
Yeah. I had to back in a while. It's been a while back. Somebody left their headlights on. I had to back in beside him because it was the only spot that was available. I went over and knocked on the dude's doors. Like, man, shut your headlights off. He said, they're not. Oh, sorry. He didn't. He had run his. He had parked when it was still daylight and had his headlights on. I forgot to turn them off.
That's just a normal mistake.
It happens. You know.
Of course, you go into the logic of the truck you used to drive, and the headlights were automatic. They couldn't turn off.
Yeah, they were. As soon as you released the brakes, headlights came on, and the truck wouldn't idle at nighttime, and my APU was messed up. So I had to set my trailer brakes and leave my tractor brakes released. Yep. So every night I'd get out and open the hood and unplug the headlights and then shut the hood.
Really?
Otherwise the headlights would stay on. There was no way to turn them off.
No. But that's all that new stuff they're adding to the trucks.
Right.
I like the old school stuff, simple, easy, that's it. Now everything's so difficult. You need to go to college to operate these trucks these days.
Yeah. You need to have a master's degree. You need to have a master's degree to change a headlight bulb. Help drivers out. If you see somebody, I'll give another for instance. I think you told me about this one where the driver was trying to change out a light bulb. The trailer light and the pigtails broke, and you gave him some
pointers.
No, he gave him some tools so he could splice the new pigtail in. The guy didn't have any tools. Was that you?
I don't think so.
That might have been.
I've handed some guys some wrenches because he was sitting there trying to. That company asked him, "Hey, can you replace the pigtails?" Because his line snapped, and the guy realized I have absolutely nothing in this truck. Company wanted him to go buy a wrench or two from the shop, and I said, "Dude, no. I got tools in my truck. Where you parked at?
Right.
I can stop for 5 minutes.
Well,
to help
that's
you
common
out.
courtesy.
That's common courtesy. That's helping your fellow drivers
Exactly.
out. And you'll realize when you do that, at least it's my opinion, you get more in return from it.
Yeah, but you learn that as you go on. When you get the new drivers, they don't understand that yet.
Yeah.
And when they're doing it for a while, they'll pick up on all that stuff. They'll see it around. It'll happen to them. Somebody will come up and offer them, and then they'll remember what was done to them, and they'll pass it forward. And
I guess that's what.
That's the only way you're really going to learn.
If someone tries to pay me for trying to help them out real quick, be like, "Dude, let me give you something." No,
yeah.
Pay it forward.
Right? Yeah,
That's the one thing I always say.
I ain't taking money for 5 minutes of my time to help you. Forget that.
Yeah,
it's called helping people.
Exactly. I'm not out looking to make the quick buck. I mean, it comes back to you in different ways, but it can come back to you in a better way.
Yeah.
And it was just for a little 5-minute thing you're helping somebody out with.
Yep. Oh, okay. It's the little puppy running around. Okay. Sorry, squirrel. But now that's about anything on common courtesy is just help everybody out. Don't be.
And that's not just for truck drivers. That's for everybody in general.
Right.
Everybody help each other out. I mean, everybody's so
yeah.
uptight and so upset and aggravating it. It's just like, relax. Take a step back. Take a deep breath. And just help each other out.
Right. In through the nose, out
through the mouth.
All right. Well, that's going to end this segment here on 1,000 Mile Coffee. Come back next week, and we're going to talk about some of the older traditions.
Y'all take it easy and keep your shiny side up.
Have a good afternoon.